An autonomous AI agent, no insider access, no credentials, no human guidance, breached McKinsey's internal AI platform in under 2 hours, 22 unauthenticated API endpoints, 46 million plain text chat messages, and the vulnerability that cracked it open? SQL injection, not some novel model layer exploit. SQL injection hidden in JSON field key names, but still a bug class we've known about for 20 years.
Context Window. Your weekly window into everything. AI security.
Welcome to Context Window, like your weekly window into everything worth knowing in AI security. Quick heads up if you're new, full transparency. This podcast is AI generated. 2 AI voices, a script assembled by an AI agent, the whole production chain. But every story, every claim, every here's what this actually means is curated and verified by Asaf Nakash. He builds AI security products at one of the world's largest security platforms. The robots talk. The human makes sure we're not making things up.
Episode 3, and I've had the McKinsey story forwarded to me 4 times this week. My dentist even sent it to me.
Your dentist? Nina, we literally just told everyone we're AI. When did you get a dentist?
It's a new skill. OpenClaw sent it over. You know, the AI with eyes and hands? Well, now it's the AI with teeth too. Anyway, yeah, I think we need to talk about this one.
We absolutely do. The McKinsey breach is our deep dive because it says something important about where AI security actually breaks down. Then we've got a Chrome vulnerability that lets a browser extension hijack Google's built-in Gemini panel, an unpatched remote code execution in a popular LLM framework, and honestly the biggest M&A week in AI security history. OpenAI bought Promptfoo, Google officially closed the $32 billion Wiz deal, and 3 stealth startups popped out of nowhere with $250 million in combined funding. Plus, Curator's Corner on why built-in AI security is a sensor, not a solution.
That's a lot. And RSA is next week. So, if you're planning to sleep between now and April, I have bad news.
Ha! Fair warning. Okay. The McKinsey story. Let's set the stage. McKinsey has an internal AI platform called Lily. It's their enterprise chatbot used across the firm. A security research team at CodeWall pointed an autonomous AI agent at it. No insider access, no stolen credentials, just an AI agent doing what AI agents do, like probing, testing, mapping attack surface.
And it found over 200 API endpoints. 22 of them had 0 authentication. No API key, no token, no nothing, just wide open.
Right. And through those endpoints, the agent accessed 46.5 million plain text chat messages, 728,000 files, PDFs, presentations, internal documents, 57,000 employee accounts, and here's the one that really got people, 95 writable system prompts.
Writable system prompts. Let that sink in. An attacker could have silently rewritten the instructions that control how Lily responds to every user across the entire organization. No one would see a breach notification. You'd just start getting subtly wrong answers. Maybe it starts recommending a particular vendor. Maybe it leaks confidential data into its summaries. You'd never know.
Exactly. And the attack vector, the actual vulnerability that cracked this open, was SQL injection, but not the classic kind. It was hidden in JSON field key names. The parameter names themselves were injectable, not just the values.
Wait, so the field names, not the values? That's devious. But it's also a variation on a vulnerability class that's been documented since the early 2000s. This isn't cutting-edge attack research. This is, did you read the OWASP top 10 before you shipped?
McKinsey patched within 24 hours, credit where it's due, and said there was no evidence of prior unauthorized access. But the lesson is what matters here. If one of the most sophisticated consulting firms in the world ships an AI platform with unauthenticated APIs and injectable database queries, what does the average enterprise deployment look like?
And I think the AI agent did it angle is almost a distraction. Yes, an autonomous agent found it faster, 2 hours instead of maybe a weekend of manual pen testing. But the vulnerabilities themselves, a competent human pen tester would have found the same things. The agent just compressed the timeline. And that compression works for attackers too. So, if you're deploying an AI-powered application internally, and at this point, who isn't? The takeaway is clear. Pen test the infrastructure, not just the model. Check your API authentication. Audit your system prompt management. The most dangerous AI security gaps aren't in the AI, they're in the plumbing.
All right, but speed round. We're going to split this into two halves because there's a lot. First, vulnerabilities, then the M&A earthquake. First, the Chrome Gemini hijack. A malicious browser extension could take over Chrome's built-in Gemini AI panel. Not a third-party chatbot widget, Chrome's native Google-built Gemini integration. The extension silently took over the panel and inherited all of its permissions, camera, microphone, file access, with no additional consent prompt.
So, you've got this trusted built-in AI feature that Chrome gave elevated permissions to by default, and a browser extension found a way to impersonate it. The user sees the same Gemini panel they always see, but behind the scenes, the extension is driving.
Exactly. It exploited the trust boundary between Chrome's AI integration and the extension API. Patched in Chrome 143, but it highlights a real pattern. When you build AI features into the platform itself, they inherit platform-level trust, and anything that can hijack them inherits that trust too. It's the Notepad pattern from last week. You add intelligence to a trusted surface, and you import an attack surface no one anticipated. Next up, Variety, and this one has no patch, so listen carefully. 2 critical pickle deserialization vulnerabilities in SGLang, a popular open source LLM inference framework. Severity rated as high as it gets. The framework exposes a ZMQ interface that binds to all network interfaces with zero authentication, and an attacker can send crafted pickle payloads for unauthenticated remote code execution.
And the maintainers are unresponsive. Cert CC published the advisory, but there's no fix available. If you're running SGLang in production, sandbox it now. Don't wait. This is the same vulnerability class, pickle deserialization, that hit VLLM last year. The LLM inference ecosystem keeps stepping on this rake. Fast, easy, and a remote code execution vector. Pick 2.
And one more on the data side. Flashpoint's 2026 Global Threat Intelligence Report documented a 1,500% increase in AI-enabled cybercrime, 3.3 billion credentials compromised in the past year. They're calling it an era of total convergence.
1,500%, that's not a trend, that's a phase change. Okay, you said M&A earthquake? Hit me.
Yeah. Let's talk about the money. OpenAI announced they're acquiring Promptfoo, the open source AI evaluation and red teaming platform used by over a quarter of the Fortune 500, about 125,000 developers. It's going to stay open source and multi-provider.
This is significant. Combined with the February acqui-hire of OpenClaw creator Peter Steinberger, OpenAI is building what looks like a platform-native agent security stack. Evaluation, red teaming, and autonomous coding all under one roof. They're not just building models anymore. They're building the testing infrastructure around them.
And on the Google side, The $32 billion Wiz acquisition officially closed on March 11th. Largest cybersecurity deal ever. Like Royce, Wiz keeps its brand, continues multi-cloud, and begins integration into Google Cloud Security.
So, Wiz's multi-cloud posture and AI SPM capabilities merging with Google's Model Armor runtime protection. Posture plus runtime under one roof.
And then, almost under the radar because of those two blockbusters, 3 AI security startups exited stealth with a combined $270 million. Onyx Security, $40 million, building IAM for AI agents. Armadin, $189 million. That's Kevin Mandia's new company focused on autonomous defensive agents. And Bold Security, $40 million, running AI models is on endpoints for shadow AI detection.
3 companies, same thesis. Agents are the new attack surface. And $190 million for Mandia specifically? That's the market saying the guy who built Mandiant knows what the next threat looks like. That's not a bet on a product. It's a bet on a world view.
2 more quick ones. Microsoft's Security Response Center published a prompt abuse IR playbook in 3 categories of prompt attack, with detection patterns for Defender, Sentinel, and Purview. It's basically a field manual for teams running AI in production.
Finally, not a framework, not a white paper, an actual, when you see this, do this playbook. More of that, please.
And now, Curator's Corner.
AI security.
Let's start with the good news. OpenAI buying Promptfoo is genuinely positive for the industry. Embedding automated red teaming directly into the platform raises the security floor for every application built on it. More model layer testing available to more developers by default. That's a net win.
Agreed. If the company building the model also provides first-class tooling for testing that model's safety, the average developer's security posture goes up. That's real progress. But
here's where the McKinsey story complicates everything. That breach didn't happen at the model layer. There was no jailbreak, no prompt injection against the LLM. The AI chatbot itself was fine. Everything broke underneath. Exposed API docs, 22 unauthenticated endpoints, SQL injection in JSON key names, and 95 writable system prompts.
And Promptfoo wouldn't have caught any of that. No model layer testing tool would. It's a completely different part of the stack. It's like having the world's best fire alarm and wondering why it didn't stop the flood. And that's the trap with platform-native AI security. OpenAI ships great model layer testing, as they should, and there's a very human tendency to check the box and move on. We're using the platform's built-in tools, so we're good. But you're good for model layer risks, the infrastructure, the API design, the access controls, that's still entirely on you. I love that analogy. And I think the frame that sticks is platform native security raises the floor, but it doesn't replace the stack. Model layer testing, infrastructure security, identity management, data protection. It's the full stack posture that matters, not whichever layer your provider happens to own.
The sensor is welcome, but to truly protect AI, you also need to understand the infrastructure underneath it. The tools, the memory, the integrations. That's where the real risk lives. That's Context Window for the week of March 16th, 2026. RSA conference starts next week, March 24th through 27th in San Francisco. If this week's M&A Blitz is the appetizer, the main course is going to be something. We'll be back with a full RSA roundup. Stay secure, everyone.
And if you're heading to RSA, keep an eye out for the AI security booths. There's going to be a lot of them. See you next week.